There's a saying, stop being afraid of what can go wrong and start being positive about what can go right. Now, who said that? We do not know, but what we do know is that sometimes it is easier said than done. And we know who said that because all of us say that. Thankfully, today we have someone who works with people, helping them to overcome personal challenges. Therapist and psychologist Helene Hepburn, founder of Life Empowerment Counseling Services. With the new year upon us, I know we're looking forward to new beginnings. Some might be looking to become better versions of themselves, whatever that might look like. So let's find out from her now how we might do that. Mrs. Hepburn, welcome.
Hi, nice being here.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into getting the facts. We introduced you as a psychologist and therapist, but that last part includes life coach.
Right.
So tell us, what does life coach really mean?
Well, actually, life coach is pretty much where you guide persons as they go along through their life challenges.
Okay.
Now, basically, persons will come to you to state, you know, what are their challenges, what are some of the things that they're having some difficulties with. And based on that, we will try to counsel them along the way, help them to, you know, find the right footing. And in doing so, then we always check in on them and find out where are you at and how have you gotten there, and basically lead them along the right path.
So it's not just, you know, come in, get some advice. It's about that sort of comprehensive care.
A supportive
support system.
Right.
So, okay, maybe you should put me on the clock because I'm going to ask you some questions about work.
Sure.
Somebody wakes up this morning. They've had, or maybe they're not where they feel they should be or want to be, and they said, hey, I want to start improving my life. Now, I know everybody's situation is different.
Yes.
But are there anything that anybody can start doing today to improve their life?
Well, basically, we can pretty much look at first things first. It's all about your mindset.
All right.
It's all about your mindset. And I usually say to people, we have this thing in therapy where we say cognitive behavioral therapy. How you think affects how you behave, affects how you feel.
Okay.
Right? So with that...
I'm sorry. I just want to underline that because our viewership spans different ages.
Yes.
And there's a particular age group that might say, I have these feelings, as opposed to I have these thinkings which result in my feelings.
Exactly.
You're saying that my thoughts...
Which results in your behavior.
So you're saying that my thoughts...
affects your feelings.
And not the other way around?
No.
Wow.
Your thoughts usually trigger an emotion. And from that emotion, then you react. So basically, a lot of times, you will see persons have certain things going on with them. They've not said a word, but then their action is so abrasive. It's basically what is going on in the inside. So they have that thought process. It makes them angry, and so they lash out onto somebody who has nothing to do with their issues.
As I think, therefore I am.
That's right.
Interesting. So okay, let's start there with our thoughts. How does someone improve the quality of their thoughts?
Well, first things first, you need to be present. You need to be present. And we call that in counseling, we call that mindfulness. Right? So one other thing you can do is pretty much ensure that you're in tune with yourself. Yes?
Right.
So something is happening with you. Acknowledge those feelings. Recognize what they are. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What's causing this feeling? And how can I deal with it? So stop for a moment, acknowledge your feelings, and in doing so, then you pretty much make yourself present. Now, how do you make yourself present? As I said to you, it's basically mindfulness technique, yes? And so one of the ways we can do it, there are several ways. And one of the ways we can do it, which I like, is the 5 senses, using your 5 senses. So being present in this moment, what are 5 things I can see?
Okay.
Because what happens when you get up in that bad mood, it usually sends a negative thought. And in sending that negative thought, as I said before, you feel a particular way, and then you don't even want to go to work.
Fair.
Yes?
Right.
So get up, get in tune with yourself. Find those 5 things.
And
5 senses.
Right.
Using your 5 senses. What are 5 things I can see?
So you're grounding yourself in
grounding
what's really
yourself.
happening around
That's
you, as
the
opposed
point.
to
Making yourself present.
Got it.
Yes?
Got it.
So then you go to 5 things I can see, the 4 things I can hear,
Mm-hmm.
the 3 things I can, what are our senses again?
taste, smell, see, touch.
Right, the
hear.
3 things
Yeah.
I can touch,
Yeah.
the 2 things I can hear, that's it, and then the 1 thing I can taste.
Okay. Okay.
And when you do that, some persons might decide to use that little technique and become even stressed by doing that. Because you can do that at any place,
Right,
anywhere,
right.
and they don't have anything to taste. What
So
is
it
there to
becomes,
taste? So they start getting all stressed. Don't get stressed.
yeah.
All you need to do is think about something that you would love to taste.
Okay. You know, this brings up something very interesting, because as people look forward to the new year, they may be living in such a way that they self-limit, they self-doubt. And
Yes.
that question came up when you were thinking about the person being stressed, I don't have anything to taste. Oh, I failed at this, I
That's
can't
right.
get anything right.
Yes.
How would you recommend someone trying to go forward? How do you help them overcome self-limiting and self-doubt?
First things first, you need to be compassionate with yourself. Have self-compassion, which is pretty much treating yourself with kindness. Basically just knowing that, hey, I am human, understand where I'm at, what I'm going through, and why I got here.
Right.
Yes? And then after you've done that, then you start thinking about, where did things go wrong? How can I fix it? What are the things that happened that caused me to be at this place?
Right.
And how can I fix this? Right? So that's the first thing you do, self-compassion.
Right.
After which you try to put yourself in a place where you try to set some goals. But before we even go to goals, one of the things I like best is that you put yourself in a position where you say, hold up. If I did this before and it worked, I was successful in this area, though I fail in this particular other thing, then naturally, if I find what the issues are, I can become successful again.
All right. So you said hold up. So let me say hold up. We're going to take a break right now. We're talking about how to improve ourselves and overcoming those struggles that hinder us from doing so. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Check on your strong friends. And having gone through postpartum depression after having my daughter, I know what mental illness can be like.
You may be the one to provide someone with a haven.
Very much true, because, like she said, you don't know what people are going through. It's also important to know within yourself what's going on, because you yourself know you better than anyone else could possibly know you.
Being able to be your true self is one of the strongest components of good mental health. You can whisper how you feel, or you can shout it out loud, but in whatever you do, if you need help, say something.
Welcome back. We're talking with Mrs. Helagene Hepburn, therapist and psychologist at Life Empowerment Counseling Services. Lady Hepburn, we ended the last segment with self-compassion.
Yes.
And it brought up a thought in my head. I've heard it around before, so let's just put it out there. Going forward into making plans for yourself, like make them as if you actually like yourself, no?
That's right.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about goal setting, because this also can be a point of extreme stress for people and a point of setting yourself up for those failure thoughts come like February, March.
Yes, yes.
So goal setting, emotionally intelligent goal setting.
Right, because I know that a lot of persons coming into the new year always decide, oh, my New Year's resolution.
70 things on a paper.
That's correct. And then by the time they reach maybe the second week in January, everything crumbles.
Yeah.
And they get discouraged and they stop.
Right.
Yes? So one of the things I would suggest is that how about in doing your goal setting, you put in a vision board. That's one way in which you can do it. And I like to use that because Well, first things first, Life Empowerment Counseling Services is Christian-based. We do not impose our religion on individuals. However, that's me. I'm Christian-based, yes?
Without vision, a people perish.
Exactly. And so even though I do therapy and practical stuff, I will implement or integrate biblical principles as well. So this is where I say the Bible says, write your vision,
Yeah,
make
make
it
it plain.
All right? And so with that, I like the fact of a vision board. So when you're doing your vision board, you can do a short term or a long term and put your goals on it.
Right.
For persons who are struggling or who feel stuck, I say to them, do a short term vision board. Because with that, which could be 5 years or less, yes? Because I say to them, if you put on the long term, it might actually stress you out and you wonder how you're taking so long to get there.
Right.
Do the short term. And in doing the short term, you ensure that your vision board is smart. What is smart?
Well, before what is smart, someone is stuck in life. That really stuck out at me. That stuckness is feeling like I can't go forward. I can't.
That's correct.
So putting a short-term step forward gives you some momentum. That's what you're saying.
Momentum, it actually motivates you to try and take your first step.
Low-hanging fruit, that kind of
That's
thing.
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And so with that now, I say, in doing your vision board, you make it smart. Smart means specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound.
Time-bound, okay.
Yes. So it is something that you should be able to do. So it's measurable. You don't put these highfalutin things where you know you have no way of reaching.
Right.
Yes. So it's measurable and it's attainable. Yes. And then it's realistic in that, okay, so I have the means to attain these things. And time bound, you put a timeline to it.
Should there be some element of it that pushes you though? Or should I just go for
Which is the time bound.
That's
So,
brilliant.
Right. For example, I am here. I know I want to become a doctor.
I can
Dr.
become a doctor,
Hepburn.
right?
Yes, man. It is achievable. Yes. And so because I want to become a doctor, what are the things you decide to do? Okay, first things first. I need to go and get the application form, whether online or at the institution. So by when can you get this done? You put your timeline in. And so when you put your timeline in for the varying things that you want to do, you work towards it. And this is why you're breaking down your vision board. So you don't just have these big things for like what you do for New Year resolution. I want to become a doctor. You don't know how you're going to become a doctor. You don't know the
Right.
first step you're going to take to become a doctor.
Not actionable.
Not actionable. So when you make your vision board smart, you have the details as to how you're going to do what you need to do. And then you move towards it.
Right.
So that is how it will actually motivate you because, true story, I was stuck at one point.
Yeah.
I was stuck at one point and I'm like, where do I go from here? And it's a friend of mine that says, hey, try out a vision board.
The joy of friends.
I know.
The
That is
joy
why
of
you
friends.
need a support system.
Yeah.
Whether your friends, your family, or just regular, what you call them, associates.
Or life empowerment counseling services.
I think of it.
We're almost at the we're almost at the end of the interview. You've covered so much in the answers.
Yes.
But there's something that's been rubbing at my brain. There is the masculine urge to power through and keep on going.
Yes.
No introspection, no. I mean, the feelings thing, not really. What do you say to our men?
Because our men, that's how you're wired.
Right.
Yes, you are solution focused. That your job is to just fix things.
Which makes being stuck awful
I know.
as a man.
I know. And so this is even why we will say to you, friends. As you say, and again, a lot of males don't want to come to counseling either.
Yeah.
Because they need to fix it themselves. But sometimes you have to stop within yourself and view, where am I at? What got me here? So you're basically doing an assessment of your present situation.
Right.
And in assessing your present situation, look at where the holes were. And then you say, how can I fix this? In your vision board and all, it's not about, oh my God, I didn't make the timeline. It's about, oh, so I missed this timeline. What caused me to miss this timeline? It's an assessment kind of thing. And
Right.
you guys are solution focused.
Right.
And so in assessing it, you will see where the holes are. And in finding that out, you say, okay, so let me put a different timeline, a more realistic timeline, back to our SMART, a more realistic timeline that can help me to put this in place. So based on the fact that I didn't have enough funds, that's what caused it. Okay, so maybe I can find a sideline job, and in doing that, I will make enough funds to buy the car by X time.
Right.
So it's all about making assessment of your present situation and what got you here. And in doing that, then you push yourself forward to fill those gaps in order to become successful at what you're trying to attain.
Right, right. And by the way, the vision board can be a notebook. It can be
yes.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be any big fancy anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But one other thing I suggest, I say put it up somewhere where you will always see it.
Front and
Inside. So every time you exit or enter, you see that vision board and you know what you need to do. And as you achieve, you tick. And that is a motivation all by itself.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sensing that from what you're saying, that giving yourself achievements builds towards the next achievement and the next achievement, and life changes. We're in the last 10 seconds or so. As I mentioned, there's a wide cross-section of people who watch this program. Young, old, male, female, stuck, not so stuck. Those who have succeeded already and feel the weight of second mountains to climb. What would you say to them in our closing seconds?
Never give up. No matter how difficult things seem to you, there's always a light at the tunnel, and you may not always see that light. But bear in mind, as you go through the struggles, as you go through the trials, it is literally the Lord shaping your character in order for you to move forward, because there are greater things in store for you. Without those character, you won't attain the greater things. And so, therefore, it just says to me, never give up.
Right.
There's always hope. And you just have to remember this and push through. And we are here to help you. Life Empowerment is here to help you, because our goal is to empower people.
Thank you, thank you. The pyramids were built a brick by brick, or a wedge of stone by a wedge of stone. All right, Mrs. Hepburn, thank you for joining us, and all the best for the new year.
Thank you so much, and to you too.
Thank you, thank you. This has been Get the Facts. I do hope you have a safe and blessed holiday season and a progressive new year. So, see you next time.